Okay, happy Saturday. This is a quick like unboxing slash how do you dissect a bag slash I just want to taste some really cool shit slash it's Saturday and it's the weekend and we should enjoy it. It's beautiful outside. I'm on my porch and so if you hear the water, we have like a fake lake and so that's what you're hearing. So hopefully it doesn't bother you, but it's okay if it does. Cool. So I got this Glitter Cat. So Glitter Cat offers monthly subscription boxes. I received this and I'm so excited. You know, I am a Glitter Cat stan. I still can't go into my neighborhood Walmart and not be looked at like I'm a little bit crazy, because when I first got the like email that I was accepted into the Glitter Cat Barista consort, I was accepted. I screamed and I was like, Mom, I made it, and started crying. And so now everybody thinks I'm crazy. I am, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, so it's still one of the greatest things I've ever been a part of in my life, and it's really cool because the roaster spotlight is Steven, and not only was he a Glitter Cat roaster in 2020, but he's pretty local-ish, local adjacent. And so you get this really cute card. And so then you got Cracker Jacks. That's cool. I'll share those. And then you get this really cute pen. I have so many and I'm a hoarder because they're absolutely gorgeous. And so then you have the coffee. So this coffee is really cool. The design is pretty interesting and you see a lot of words. And so I know a lot of people, they're trying to like get into specialty coffee because it's a vibe, but you don't know what the hell you're reading. So like you could just say things. I'm learning Korean right now. One of the like 3 languages that I'm working on right now. So Hangul, I know the words, but I don't know what I'm saying. Like I can read it, but I don't know what it says. You know what I'm saying? I'm at that point in my journey. And so I feel like a lot of people, when they're learning any passion, you're learning a new lexicon. And so there's a lot of things going on this label. And you're like, what the hell is that? Well, number one, it means that there's definitely some good shit in here. Number one. And number two, like, a lot of this stuff is not as intimidating if you just like take a moment and they're just trying to like let you know that this is that good shit and here is why. And so first you have the label. So it's got the date, 2021, well, the year, which that counts as a date, I don't know, whatever. And it's called A League of Their Own, the natural. And so you have the origin, so where this coffee was grown, Kenya. And so then the farm or co-op, they have that name and the specific region in Kenya that it was grown. The producer, it's a multi-producer, which a lot of the coffees that you like are gonna be a multi-producer, especially if they're coming from a co-op as opposed to like a single farm. Because what people do is they grow their beans, they pick their beans, they go to the washing stations, and then they sort them. And a lot of times things are sorted per the grade or the quality that they think that it's going to made, and made into blends, and then shipped off to either be blended by the further blended by the roaster once it gets past the importer and the exporter, or kept as is. So yeah. And so then it has the cultivars, or so like kind of like Golden Delicious versus Honeycrisp apples, you know. And so these are SL34, SL28. Please don't ask me what SL is. I should know, but I'm not bringing it. It's not coming to me. And then it says the altitude in miles above sea level. So this is important because, well, all coffee has value, but all coffee is not going to be delicious. And the type of coffee that we find delicious in the specialty coffee, quality coffee realm is coffee grown that has like high elevation. So the high elevation means that it is it has cooler temperatures to develop, and so the rate of ripening is slower, so you get more complexity, sweeter, darker cherries. It's deliciousness, and deliciousness takes time, and that's something we can learn. I know that, just speaking for myself, like sometimes you look at your life and you're just like, why are we not to the good shit yet? And there's a lot of stuff that's going from each step that we develop, but the good shit, the real good shit, it takes time. So be easy for yourself. There's children having joy and fun out here, but whatever, have your good time, whatever. But yeah, and so this is 1,600, 1,800 miles above sea level. So it's the high shit. It's good. It took a while. You have the cooler temperatures, you have the hot environment, and you know, a lot of stuff has to work. There's a lot of variables to a delicious cup of coffee, and so these are some of the more important ones. And then the score. So this is an 87.5. So there's some complex stuff going on in there, and what that basically means is it was cupped by a lot of different people, and they came to agreement that with the clarity, the body, the sweetness, and I'm trying to think, there's a couple other variables, the balance, the acidity, and a few more things, and they've come to agreement that it tastes damn good, and not even good, because you're not really judging on the goodness, you're just judging how this performs. And so when you're cupping, sometimes you're like, oh, this is that good shit, but I like funky stuff, I like fermented things, but if I get a coffee that may taste like funky and I'm into it, that doesn't mean that it necessarily will get a high score in clarity, because some of that funkiness may fog out the flavor notes that we're trying to achieve. And so that's kind of an example, but yeah, it's cupping. People agreed that of these different variables, so the body, the sweetness, the balance, the acidity, this is what it should be scored. This is how it performs. And so yeah, and 87.5 is a high score. So you've got a lot of like good quality stuff going on in this bag. So I am going to make a pour over, and yeah. Okay. So what you notice is not on there, which I don't see it, is I don't see like flavor notes. So when they talk about flavor notes, I know that this has probably been said, but if you're new to the good shit, you may see bags that are like, oh, this tastes like apricot or sugar cookies, or red orange, whatever, or blood orange, red orange. Well, sometimes you taste colors. I think there's a name for that. Whatever. And so what I'm doing as I'm like talking to you is I like to drink my coffee while it's cool. So you can only perceive flavors at a certain temperature, right, of your tongue, a certain level of coolness. So when you all go to, can I get my latte extra hot? You're just trying to have something hot in your mouth, because you're not really tasting nothing. And especially if you're dealing with like milks, really any type of milk, yeah, at a certain point, the flavor, the sugars degrade anyways, and so you're just tasting hot. And again, if you like hot, you like hot. I'm not making judgment, but just know that. And so I like to cool my coffee because I actually want to enjoy the flavor, which I'm smelling this, and it's smelling absolutely delicious. And so basically, the majority of your taste is your smell. So a lot of people who are trying to get through COVID, which I wish you all good healing. Also, get your vaccine. Also, please, if you ever need someone to bully someone, to stop being irresponsible and not a good community member, for not only yourself but others. If you are able to get the vaccine and you choose not to, that is a choice. And even though we do have freedom of choice, well, most of us have freedom of choice. Many people who feel like they're entitled to, quote unquote, choose about the vaccine have no problem restricting other people's choices of a lot of things. Like, I don't know, gender identity, who they are marrying, how people function in the world, etc. Yeah, because everything is political. The coffee, all of it. And so, but anyways, if you're deciding to choose to be a piece of shit, you're deciding to choose to be a piece of shit. But just know that it is on you. You may harm someone, and that is on you. And I hope that you reap the consequences and the benefits of your choices. So, cheers, bitches. But anyways, so the majority of flavor is smell. So like sometimes you'll read this and you're like, I'm tasting coffee, right? Which there goes either, there's a lot of things that go with that. Like, so clarity, right? Clarity of flavors. Like some coffees taste like grape. And it doesn't matter if you've been sipping coffee forever or for a few minutes. You're going to drink that and you'll be like, bitch, is this grape? And it's not just grape, it's Welch's. And that coffee would like rate pretty high because the clarity of the flavors. But a lot of times, like everything, the more you drink it, the more you can perceive the nuance. And so, and there's a lot of beauty in the nuance. And that's why I love coffee, if you guys didn't know, if you all didn't know. But yeah, so I like this to cool down a little bit. This coffee is very delicious. Okay, so, and I can already taste where I've added myself into it, and I've kind of like, I can already taste where I've added myself into it. First of all, it's delicious. It's good. We're not trying to do a scoring, so we don't do that objective shit here. Nothing is objective anyways. Objectivity is a lie. But we are leaning into the subjective. It's delicious. I like it. So when you are brewing it, you smell like a darker honey. So the difference between, you know, like the clover honey and the dark honey. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. You've been to Whole Foods and you have like the dark honey jar. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like you don't know what I'm saying. But anyways, so you smell like the warm, dark honey. There is a little bit of floral, but it's more like sweet. It just smells sweet as you're brewing it. What also, like the tips and tricks for your home pour over sesh. Tips and tricks. So grind size, right? So get the grind size right, and you want to get good grinders. So what I like about this grinder, and there's some Baratza grinders. I have a Baratza grinder, the same, and I like both of them for different reasons. But when you can have like uniformity in grind size, so all of the coffee is brewing at the same, it's kind of like if you're cooking meat or veggies. For those of you who don't eat meat, if you cut everything the same size, it's going to cook at the same time. And so you get that. And so you're not going to have like varying brew times hitting and then trying to reach an equilibrium that tastes delicious. You kind of have some consistency. And so I really like this fellow ode for that grind consistency. I wish I could grind finer so I could do finer, so I could do like espresso stuff, but it doesn't. And we need to stop asking folks to do stuff that they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, let people be them. Let people be Beyonce. And so it is Beyonce when it comes to like grind size consistency, and I really enjoy it. But anyways, so the sweetness, it's there. You have the brightness. I like acid. If I had to describe myself in like coffee terms, I am pleasantly sometimes under extracted. So I like things to be like, and so when I think of acids, you know how like you bite into an apple? Well, that's a particular type of acid, which I got from this. Like, I got a little malic energy, but then you also have like a tart berry. But you know how kind of like the sides of your tongue start to water? and you're like, ooh, you know, that kind of like sensation, you get that. Again, part of that is the way that I brew this pour over, but part of it is what we love about these brighter coffees, especially from Africa, mama continent. You know, you get the brightness, you get the clear like acid punch, and as long as the roast level balances it out, you'll have like a delicious cup that's complex, and it stands good on its own. I don't make judgments about whether or not people put cream and sugar in their coffee. You do what's best for you. What you drink, don't make me piss. That's so gross, but I don't care. But for real, you do you. But if you're ever buying me a coffee and you're wondering, like, does she want cream and sugar? Don't do that. Because if you're buying me the right coffee, I don't need it. And this is the right coffee. So yeah, this is my quick, like, first sip review, kind of like, explanation of a coffee bag. I really like it because it has all this info, you know? All this info. And it's pink. And it's Libra season. Well, it's not Libra season, but it's Mercury in retrograde is in Libra. So, yeah. And do I know what that means? Not really, but the TikTok astrologers told me stuff. But anyways, so, yeah. I hope this is helpful. Even if it's not helpful, I hope it's entertaining. And, you know, the education and the good time was free, but delicious coffee is not. And if you want to support my habit, my Venmo will be in the description box. But thanks for tuning in, and have a good one.